Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Micks Mowers. Got my little Riley boy here and you are in desperate need of a haircut. You're styling a nice 1960s haircut there. Today we're going to be working on a little generator, a Homelite HG600 I think it is. Picked up really cheap out of the old dump site, which is cool. But before we get on, we have a mountain of little parcels that have come up over the past couple of days. So there's your first one, Riley boy. There's one there. That's come from Tim Cutter Palmer. So got a nice sticker there from Tim Palmer. He's got a YouTube channel, yeah, go and check him out. Thank you very much for that, Tim, much appreciated. Got another one come here. Looks like this has come from Ireland. There's one there. That's from Micks Mowers. So go and check out Micks Mowers also, as seen on YouTube. There's my mate Rick over there. You've got a sticker coming your way at some point, Rick. It is on its way. Then you've got a parcel here. Yeah, open that one up.
I didn't order one.
You don't order nothing off Amazon. Well, you do. You actually order loads off of Amazon, off of my my TV, don't you? You can get in there. Oh, we've got a love letter.
Oh my gosh!
All right, let's have a little look. Pull that out. Careful. That's it. Well, it's only because you pulled it out. What's right?
You out?
You can take it out, yeah. So I've got a
Oh
my word, it's a big one. Got a parcel here. Hi Mick, thanks again for all the videos and giving me the confidence to maintain my own 18-year-old Hater Harrier 41. I'm thoroughly enjoying working on it, and at the moment it's running perfectly. Anyway, here's a present for little Riley boy. Hope hope you all have a good Easter and take her easy. From Simon, from sunny Western Supermare. So that's from Simon. So what do you say to Simon?
Is it Simon?
There you go. Well done. So you got a little Easter egg there. Can Daddy hold that on for a minute?
Yeah.
I'll put it over here.
Daddy.
Yeah.
I need a party for you.
I've got a parcel here. Let me have a quick sup of my old coffee.
I need to order one.
No. So this one I've got come in.
Okay.
This has come off of my Amazon wish list.
Which one? Okay.
I only opened it up, yeah, just to see what it was. See if I'd ordered it, but I haven't. Don't need to open it. It's a set of star clips, retaining star clips that go on like poles instead of nuts and bolts, what have you. Hi Mick, you've received the parcel from. I've just received my parcel from the Ransom Marquis. Just wanted to repay the favour. Enjoy, from James. So James wanted a part off of a Ransom Marquis carburetor, off of a Amel 379121 carburetor. He wanted just the carburetor cap that goes on the top. You can't buy them. I had a spare one sat here, so a cap, yeah. I had a spare one sat here, so I thought I'd send it out to him. So he's just given me a little gesture back. I didn't charge him for it. I just sent it out, and he's repaid the favour. Got this one here. Yeah, there you go. Open that one up.
I know what this is. Are you ordered one?
I haven't ordered you anything. This is all you.
I know what it is.
You know what it is, do you?
Oh.
You can get in there. Dad,
Did you cut?
Dad, a little bit of help. There you go. I'm going to get the sticky tape. There you go. Now you can get into it.
No way!
Oh, my Lord. Oh, hang on. There's more in there. Help yourself. We've got a little letter here as well. Again? We're going to turn into an egg. Oh, lovely. 2 boxes of Kinder Eggs. 2 or more? 3 boxes of Kinder Eggs. 3, 6, 9 Kinder Eggs you've got there. Is there something else? I don't think there is. Hang on. So we've got another load of Kinder Eggs there. As some of you may or not know, my Riley boy's got additional needs, and the only sort of chocolate, sweet or whatever. I know you don't eat sweets.
What's he say?
He only eats the Kinder Eggs. That's it. Hi Mick. This is a little something for Riley boy, just to show my appreciation. For all your help and time you gave me. Thank you very much. Kind regards from Craig Bell. I think Craig had an issue with a lawnmower, and we were texting to and fro. It was a carburetor issue. We were texting to and fro, emailing, sending photographs, and I think with a little bit of my help and his hard work, he's got his machine up and running, so that's cool. So stay safe, yes. Thank you very much for that. Riley boy's got another parcel there. That's brilliant. And then the last one, this is a big one, Riley boy. This was from Mrs. Farnell, who is Fix It and Scrap It's wife. So go and check out Neil over at Fix It. Just gonna start you off. That's what I'm doing. There you go. Do you want a hand to get it out the packet? Okay, your presents. Do you want a hand to get it out the packet?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is that?
There's one. Get on with that one first.
I don't know. What is this?
There's a note here as well. A little note. Do you want me to open this one up?
Yes, you can, Daddy.
All right, I'll open this one up then.
You've got a pig.
Right, let's have a look. It says to Mick, Mrs. P and Riley Boy. Let's have a little look.
No way!
He has arisen indeed. To Mick, Mrs. P, Riley Boy, happy Easter, love from Neil, Michelle, Georgie, Fix It, Scrap It, and Winnie. I think Winnie the cat.
Daddy,
What you got here? Let's have a look. Hang on, let's have a look.
If for Georgie...
You got some wax crayons. That's cool. You've got a Spider-Man 700 sticker Spider-Man book. That's cool. Hang on, there's more in here. I think, yeah, Georgie and the can and Winnie the cat. I think.
Why?
No, different one.
Oh yeah.
That's that one. Okay, my lord, we've got loads of stuff going on here. What you got there? Sticker book. You got an Avengers 500 sticker book. How cool's that?
Yeah.
You like that? So he's got loads of stickers and activities to do in that one. You've got another parcel there that I opened up as well. My lord, Riley Boy, they absolutely love you.
I know what this is.
You know what this is, do you? I'm glad you do. We're making the right mess down here.
A Play-Doh.
You got what?
A Play-Doh.
Is it Play-Doh, is it? Word. Let's have a look. Let's do a bit of time. So you've got some dinosaur stampers, make and create for kids. So that's art and crafts, I think. Oh no, lovely. 10-pack of stamps. That's for stamps. I don't know if that's for
Do what, Daddy?
art and crafties, I think. We've got here, what's this one here first? We've got a bumper craft pack. Look, you can make all these little tiny figures. Look, that's cool, isn't it? So we can do that with Nana, can't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you like. What you could do, you could put some eyes on the back of Nana's head. She'll appreciate that when she goes down to Tesco's. So you've got some pipe cleaners, pom-poms, wooden sticks, feathers, some shapes, and a bag of sequins, and some wiggly eyes. That's cool in that one.
Daddy.
And in this one, it says, mould your own crazy clay dinosaurs. I don't think you've got to put them in the oven, maybe. I don't know, it's clay, we'll see. So yeah, you got a load of stuff here to make your own dinosaurs and more art and crafts. That's fantastic. You are a lucky boy. So what did you say to, was it Michelle, wasn't it? Let me double check. What did you say to Michelle and Georgie and Neil?
This is Georgie,
And Neil.
And Neil.
That's it, good boy, well done. Good boy. So you got loads of presents there. So super, big Easter eggs, some little Easter eggs, and some arts and crafts to do with Nana. That'd be great, wouldn't it? So that's super cool. So thank you very much to anyone that has sent my little Riley Boy a little parcel. He absolutely adores parcels. He gets super excited, as you can see. So that's cool. If this is your first time watching Micks Mowers, hit the subscribe button, whack the old bell,
Ding.
and set your all your settings to all. And that way you'll be told that I've done a video. I'm on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get down and dirty and let's have a look at this Homelite generator and see if we can't get it to run. Right, here is the HG600 Homelite generator. Now, I've done a little bit of research on this because I've not worked on one before. And apparently it's got a Yamaha engine in here, or it's not a copy, it's a machine made by Yamaha. That's what I've been reading in the forums. It's a 4-stroker. I can tell that because it's got a little tiny oil filler just there, which is completely separate to the machine, so you don't have to put 2-stroke in. So it is a 4-stroke machine. These are categorised as what you call a suitcase machine, so it's all compact, and I'm going to absolutely adore working in this because space is going to be absolutely limited. So I have no idea if it even works or anything. It may be a really short video. The piston may be done, cooked, no oil in it. I've absolutely no idea, absolutely none at all. Just want to check that there is oil in this machine, so that's good. So there's plenty to get on with it. If it does run, I will be getting an oil change anyway, but there is oil in the machine, so we're good to go on that respect. The only video I've seen 2 videos on this. They're each about a minute long, and all they show is just firing it up. That's all they show. They don't actually show working on it or anything along that line. So from what I understand or what I've seen, there's two or three screws here to undo on the back. You take them off, and then the back of this generator casing will then fall off. I don't know if the front falls off. I've got absolutely no idea. So we're pretty much learning as we go. But that's what I do. I do tend to work on machines. Anything that comes in, I will have a go at it. It's as simple as that. So what we're going to do is, first thing is I'm literally going to try and expose the back of this machine, undoing them bolts. That should, I think, come apart. Yeah, it does. Oh, something just fell off. What was that? Oh, you get a spark plug. You get a spark plug socket with it. That's cool. I had no idea where that come from. No idea. I'll give it a quick little blow off with an air compressor. Here's my spark plug. Once I've blown it off, I'll come back to you and we'll have a little look to see if I put some carburetor spray down there, if I can't just get it to fire. If I get it to fire, we'll carry on. If I don't get it to fire, we'll have to investigate the reason why, but I dare say it's been cooked. But because it has got oil in it and it's a four-stroker, there is a very, very limited chance it's run, the pistons are done because it's a four-stroke machine. So let me get it blown off and I'll come back in 2 ticks of a gnat's whisker. And we'll put some carb spray down the head of it and we'll try and fire it up and see how we get on. Right, so I've just give it a quick little blow off, nothing too essential. And all I want to do now is I get a pair of pliers. No, I don't want my Nip-X, I want my other ones. That's a little thing for Pete, he knows what I'm on about. So I'm going to take that HT lead off and we've got a little tiny plug down in here. And what we're going to try and do is just remove said spark plug. Oh, that was on there. Let's take the old plug out. Now the plug looks really, really good. That's been running, that's what you're looking for if you want a machine to be running right. That's absolutely lovely. Whitish in colour, no carbon on there, no oil on there. That is absolutely A1. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put the plug back in and we're going to try and get a little bit of a pullover. Where's the old pull cord up here? Let's turn it on. That might help, Mick. Turn it on. I think that's it. And we'll give it a little pull so we get a spark out of it. I saw a spark then. Yeah, I can definitely hear something, but I can't actually see. Let me try and put it on something a bit more metallic. About there. Let's try that. Yeah, got a little spark there, I see that. So we have got a spark, so that's cool. Let's take that back out. I'll get a little bit of carby spray. And I'm going to put that straight down said hole. Now there's a bit of dirt there. Is that dirt? What is that? Oh no, it's not dirt, no, okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of spray down the head. And then we're going to put the plug straight back in. And nip that up. And you'll do it quite quickly before the carburetor spray evaporates, dissolves, whatever you want to call it. Pardon me. That's that nicked up. Let's take that off. Put the plug cap back on. Right, now I'm going to try and fire the machine up. All I want to do is hear the machine fire. That's all I want it to do. I don't want to do anything else than that. So let's give that a quick pull, see what happens. So the machine fires, lovely. So that's good. Now, let's have a little look at inside the tank. I'm guessing, now what I do with my torch, let's see, down here. I'm guessing the fuel is probably going to be quite rancid in here. I've got a filter there. There's a little bit of fuel in there, not a great deal. So do we just put some fuel in it first? Should we just do that? Because someone may just throw this out because they don't want it. It may just be as simple as that. So let's put a bit of fuel in. And then what we'll do is we'll also try and plug something in, try and get it just to run on the power, see what the power side's doing. Obviously, I'm not a Sparky, so if you want to generate Sparky videos, go and check out James Cole. He's brilliant at them. And if this don't spark, and I'll be posting it over in bits to him, because me and electrics don't get on. So I'm not seeing any fuel coming up through. What I might need to do is literally, there's a little tiny nut just here. I may just crack that nut off at the bottom, just to see what sort of state the fuel is in. So that's 3/8. Let's try a 3/8 on there. No, it ain't a 3/8. It might be a 10. Is that a 10? Yeah, it's a 10 mil. So I'm just going to try and crack that. Without snapping it, of course. Because these are renowned. If you go too hard with them, and then you snap the carburetor bowl and all the tubing. So literally just going to drain, and some fuel will come out of this. Just want to pull some fuel out. That fuel smells absolutely rancid. It smells worse than a pair of old pants. So let's, out comes a bowl. Now that tells me straight over the jet. So the jet is plugged, I can see that from here. The jet is well plugged, and the bowl is actually out now. So we're not actually getting any fuel to this carburetor whatsoever, okay? So, number one, the carb is going to have to come off. That's number one, okay? And carb is going to have to be clean. That's going to be absolutely hilarious to get into there, because it's a suitcase generator. So I'm hoping to take the manifold off, which will give me my carburetor. That's going to be absolutely hideous. If I can't get that fuel tank out, I don't know what I'm going to do. Right, so nip that back up. So what I'm now going to do, we know that the carburetor does need cleaning, that's a fact. What I'm now going to do is take the spark plug back out again and put some more carb spray down. I'm going to plug something in and just see if it doesn't actually generate some power. That's what I'm going to do next, because if the generator side of it that generates the power, if that's not working, it's pretty much game over for me. But this would be brilliant for spare parts. But as I say, I'm not a whiz kid on the electrical side of things. I just take a gamble. So it could be something simple though. But as I say, it could just be a wire been pinched up here when someone's put the case back in, something along that line. It could be as simple as that. But we shall see. So I'm going to take the spark plug back out again, put some carb spray down it, and I'll bring it back just before I fire it up, and I'll plug something in and see if we get a little bit of power coming out of this machine. Right, so what I've got here, I've got a little jigsaw power tool, and I've just set it on my lowest setting, and I've locked the throttle off. You know, you can squeeze the trigger in, push a button, and it stays on. So obviously this is not going to run, because the carburetor is absolutely bunged right up. So I'll take the plug out. We're going to put a bit of stuff down it. Bit of the old fire it up juice. And then we're going to put the plug back in. Now I'm going to pull the cord, and hopefully, fingers crossed, as long as the old switch is turned on, which it is, make sure your AC switch is turned on. And with your machine plugged in, what we're hoping for is for the split second that this machine's going to run, because we know it does fire, we're hoping that this jigsaw will actually power up. Now, it's just a test you have to do, because if you don't do it, you could work on this machine till the cows come home and find that the generator doesn't actually produce power, and that's effectively what you want it for. So let's put that just there. Now it's only going to fire for a couple of seconds, people, so don't be too alarmed, okay? Let's give it a pull, see what happens. Oh, try and do it cack-handed. So there you go. So the jigsaw fired up. So that tells me we've got a working engine, a combustible engine, and we've also got a generator which will actually power a device. So it all works, other than it won't start off its own back. So now I'm super excited, because this little suitcase machine, and these are really quiet, and they're great for camping or whatever. And it's also got the US plug socket as well on it as well. So you've got an adapter there as well. So that's cool. So the next thing I need to do is to figure out how I'm going to get into there. I'm guessing this fuel tank must come out. I'm guessing that all of this is all loose. So I would like to think that you can actually get to it. Once this fuel tank comes out, I'm guessing, and I'm only guessing, you can, once you've got that out, because there's screws here, or do you just take it off of there, maybe. I might have to take all this air box off, all of that, So there's a screw there to do. I've got 2 here to do, 2 nuts. That's a manifold. A couple of pipes to remove. Nothing big. To get at it, because effectively I want to get into this air box. So I'm gonna have a little look into it. I've got a feeling this fuel tank will actually come out. If the fuel tank comes out without too many dramas, once the fuel tank is out, then we can work away. So there's actually a panel here, a screw here. I might take that off. There's a screw there. There's nothing there that holds that on yet. So a bit of figuring out. Once I figured it out, I will come back to you and I will show you exactly what I've done. But I would like this little fuel tank just to slide out. And I'm guessing the manufacturers over at Yamaha aren't going to make it that easy for me. So take this screw out first. That holds part of the casing on. There's a couple more. What's that there? It's a grind, so you can earth the machine out. There's a screw here, a screw at the front. Yeah, so it does look like you can actually remove this front panel. So one there, one down here. I'm not seeing one this side. Oh, there's one there as well, yeah, one there as well. With that done, you should be able to at least take this face away a little tiny bit without demolishing too much. And then you can then get access to the tanks. Let me undo those screws and I'll come back once I've figured a bit more out and I'll let you know how I got on. Right, so I've undone the 4 screws. One here, one down the front here, one down the front here, and one around the other side there. So there's 4 Phillips screws to come out, and then it looks like you pull the plug side out ever so slightly, and you've got a bit of movement going on here. I don't want to get too much physic. A few plug sockets there to think about. That seems to be caught on that tank. There it goes. Bit of tipping up. So I don't want to go too mad, I don't want to break anything. So there is lots of movement to be had. It seems to be getting caught on that fuel tank, just there. So I'll not take one apart before. You're probably screaming at me, no, don't do that, mate. Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what's happening. You don't want to come out of this bottom side. For some reason it's hooked up. There you go, that's a bit better. A bit of movement there. Does that fuel tank, is that just a floating fuel tank or what? All I want is a fuel tank out. They don't give you no room though, do they? Oh my lord. It must have been built by Oompa Loompas. What's that? What's holding that on there then? Anything on the face? Oh, I see. Could be that. Maybe. Oh no. It could be the on-off switch that's doing it. It could be that. No, that comes with it. So I'm going to try and get a screwdriver in here and try and prise this tank out. It would be a bit more fiddling pokering. But we're so nearly there, it's not even funny. Literally, there's something holding this on. Let me try and get all that fuel tank from around the back. I don't think that fuel tank's actually held in there. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this this little on-off switch. I think I don't think that is holding it. There's something just not quite giving me what I want. It'll be something simple, people. So let me do a little bit more investigation, and I'll come back to you once I've figured that out, because there's something just holding that in there. I'm guessing that will just come away once I can sort that out. 2 ticks. Okay, so what I've done is, instead of taking the fuel tank out, you can just literally push the bottom of this away and lift that up, okay, like so, without breaking anything. And that will then give you access to this here carburetor, which we can now undo that. You have got to be a bit patient with this if you're going to take this one on, because as I say, space is absolutely limited. Absolutely no wriggle room whatsoever. So just be a bit patient. It may take, you know, 2 or 3 hours just to get down to it, but it's all achievable. Always remember, the golden rule is that somebody put it together. So if somebody put it together, somebody can take it apart. That's a simple rule. So don't be too complacent. I've got a screw just there. We're going to take that off. And that should then give me the air box, which will come off of there, which it does. Undo that screw. I'm trying to show as much as I can, but as I say, space is extremely limited. Like that that's the air box coming off. Got a gasket there. Don't want to tear the gasket if I can help it. There's a gasket. So there's the air box. That all comes off together. The carby is absolutely tiddly. So now the carburetor exposed, first I'm going to take a quick photograph of its setup. Okay, just so for my own peace of mind, we know exactly what's going on. So we've got a fuel pipe coming in. Where's the fuel in come from? Let's have a little look here. Fuel pipe comes up, over, and in there. That's cool. That's a breather. And the main fuel pipe is T-hinged at the back, just here. So I'm going to get right down in here, as best I can, and take a photograph of all of that mechanism just there. Got that one. Now, because it's a couple of general photographs, just to give you a bit of a clue as to where the bits go, so you can always refer to it a bit later on. So looking at this, I've got a throttle to remove, I've got a breather pipe here to remove, so let's get a pair of long nose pliers, red handle ones, Bruce. We're going to remove this pipe here, which looks like it's done its day anyway. It's coming. Try not to damage any parts at all. Because any parts that you damage, you're going to have to reroute yourself. So that's okay. And then I want to... Have I got a fuel on-off on here or not? I'm not seeing. Off. No. I'm not seeing no fuel on-off switch. So I might get a little bit of fuel coming out in a bit. And then I've got a pipe at the back. Let's undo this one up here on the top of a tank, that breather pipe there. That'll give me a bit more slack. Let's remove that off. That's it. Okay. Give me a bit more slack. I've got a little tiny throttle cable there to do. It's on off there. Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. I've got a little tiny governor arm. And a little tiny, that is tiny, how am I going to get in there? A little tiny screw there, which will help me. I think someone's been in here previously. A little tiny Phillips to remove here off of this cable. And what I'm going to do before I take that off, I'm going to get my permanent marker. I'm just going to mark that cable so I know at the end of that cable is where that goes. Just so it can be set up right for when I take it off. So I've got a little tiny cable screw here to remove. So we'll undo that. That'll slide that off. Right, so it's actually the cable, the throttle cable is actually the one holding all of that on together. So we've now learned you need to get this bit off here and undo that throttle cable. Once the throttle cable comes off, all of this becomes really, really sloppy. Okay, so we're learning as we go. So if you watch this video in full, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to rotate this pipe round. This is your main fuel feed in, down the bottom. Make sure you're getting this one. Come a bit closer. Let's bring you in. Let's bring you right in. There you go. A bit closer. I've got a clip down here to remove. That's that one. And I'm going to leave that breather pipe on for now. Watch this all fall over and break on me now. I'm going to move that pipe off of there. We might get a bit of fuel now. So I'll get the forceps at the ready. That'll be okay. That's good. So that one goes down the bottom. We'll leave the top one in place. We can then rotate this. You've got a carburetor governor spring to remove. The thing is, these pipes are all solid. That's the problem. That comes off of there. A little governor spring, which has been put on round the wrong way. That's going to go around to there. And there's our little carby. So we're happy with that. So a lot of work involved. I would recommend, whilst you're here, is possibly to change a pull cord, because if a pull cord is a bit dicky, there's going to be one bolt there. It's not going to be the easiest to get to, but I would recommend changing the pull cord now if you're going to do that, because otherwise you can put it all back together and the pull cord is no good. So I would highly recommend that. Just trying to see if I can get any more exposure. I've got a pipe here, a little breather pipe up here. That's holding on, which goes on the carburetor manifold, exhaust manifold. I'm going to remove that as well. That comes off. And then we can then slide the entire front of the panel away. And then you can get to your pull cord. I would recommend doing your pull cord now if you're going to do that. So you've got one bolt down here, one bolt down here, and there should be something up the top here. We should take this away, because otherwise you're going to get stuck. So I would recommend you do it now. But what we're going to do is this carburetor over to the bench, and we'll have a look at it, see what's going on. But this carburetor, from what I could smell, was absolutely rancid. I'm going to take the fuel tank out, give the fuel tank a good swill as well, and then we'll go from there, shall us? See how we get on from there. What do you reckon? Come on, let's get it done. Right, so carby's now off the machine. Let's turn the light on. That's it, so you guys can see what's going on. Here's a carby. I need to go and get a 10mm, don't I? That's what I do need, because that's what's in the old bowl. Let me grab a 10. Oh, right, let's have a little look then, shall we? Bit of fuel coming out. That fuel is yellow in colour. Look at it. Oh my lord. This is going to have COVID, isn't it? I know it is. Alright, there's a jet. Let's give it a tap. Oh my lord. Can't get the bowl off. Hammer! Hit it harder. I don't want nothing too big, despite the fact I do like using hammers. Right, let's there it goes. Right. Gently catches a monkey, people, so remember you've got O-rings on here to consider. Oh, the carby done it too bad. Come on, Mr. O-ring, you come off of there. There you go. You can sit back in your little home. That's it. So the bowl is actually not shocking at all, considering what the fuel was like. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that little tiny pin out of there. That looks well in there. I've got to sort that out. We've got a jet up the top here to do as well. There's a little tiny jet just here to take out. And we've got a little mixture jet just here as well to take out. That's got to come out. And at some point I've got to try and get this float off, but it looks like somebody's already been in there. It looks well chewed. So give us 2 ticks. Let me try and get that pin out first. That's the first one's got to try and come out. I will try my best, but I know what they're like. It looks like someone has been in before, so that's the thing. So I've not seen this style of carburetor before, I must admit, so I can't afford to break this carburetor in any way, shape or form. I've got a little tiny jet in there which has got to come out as well. And that's all bunged in there as well, so that's got to be cleaned separately. So float off first, and I'll come back to you in 2 ticks. Right, with a little tiny bit of tapping, and I mean I was gentle, people. You know how hard I normally am. I was gentle with it, and I have now got that pin out. It came out relatively easy, but it needed a little bit of persuasion. There's your float, and I've already got loads of gunk sat just behind here in this carburetor, so I can see that. I've got a little tiny jet in here as well to remove. That came out lovely. Oh my lord. So I've not seen this carburetor. before, and I'm guessing it's going to be, oh my lord, I'm guessing it's going to be a States job if you want a spare one, so that's why you got to go a bit easy. So that all comes out, we're happy with that. We've got a little tiny, this will be a slow runner down here. That comes out, and that was well seated. So no need to make no notes on that one. Out you come. That's that one gone. And then you've got one here, which is not well seated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a reference that's roughly at about 1 o'clock. Okay, I'm now going to screw it all the way in. So that was there. That's half a turn, 1 turn, 1.5 turns. So 1.5 turns there. First thing you do is grab your pen. If you can find one, baby. I'm gonna make James at Hayes Machine here. What will I say? 1.5, don't I? 1.5. So make a note of 1.5, and I'm just going to put 1 o'clock so I know that where that actually sits. Okay. So now that's done, I can now retract this one out as well, because you want to put it back to how it was before. That's not to say it's correct, because someone else might have been in. So that's got to come out. I'm going to remove this little tiny fuel pipe here as well. That's going to come off. Give that a twist. And then slowly retract that one as well. Without snapping anything, Mick. Here comes Mrs. Pete. Yeah, I'm alright, babe. Just doing a carburetor clean, sweetheart. Doing a carburetor clean. So that's that. Just want to make sure this throttle control is all movable. Yeah, that all works. So I'm going to leave that well alone. So that's good. You can't get into there. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to run some fuel. That breather pipe's a bit crimped at the end. That's not breathing at all. So that wants renewing. So that's that. And then we've got a little tiny jet in the bottom of the bowl nut. And I mean, that is absolutely tiny. Now what I do, I'm going to put that in a vise, pinch that in a vise to get that little jet out of there. It's got a little tiny flat head on it. Hi, buddy. Mummy's back home, is she? Fantastic. What you got there? You got another egg? Oh my lord, you're going to turn into an egg one of these days.
Is that pig?
No, I'm doing a video of the guys.
Wait, is that pig?
No. Right, so that's what goes in a vise. Let me get that done and I'll come back to it in 2 ticks. Right, I've just put that in the vise, just squeezed the nut in the vise and literally just got my screwdriver, and it wasn't in there hard at all, just couldn't get hold of it. And there's a little tiny jet just here as well. That I've not seen before. And that it's got the smallest of holes in there. So we've got to clean all these holes up now. Now I use a plethora of tools in my arsenal. The main one I use are these little tiny gas tip cleaners. They're the ones that pretty much every small engine bloke's got in his kit. If you don't have those, you can buy on eBay or Amazon something like that, some micro drill, thumb drill bits. You can use those. Just be wary not to take too much material off though. So what I'm now going to do, I'm going to spend the next 10-15 minutes, and you guys don't have to see this, and pretty much every single hole in this carburetor has to be poked out with a file. Okay, these are all plugged like so. So we've got loads in that one to do. You've got one in here to do, and that also goes all the way down into there. Now that's actually too thin for my pipe cleaner to go in, so I'll be using a micro drill bit in there. So I'll clean that one out. You've got one there to do. That one hasn't got one. That's got one. And then we can move on to actually clean the carburetor itself. So get all those bits all rimmed out with your tip cleaners, and then I'll come back to you once I've done that. So I'm back on this slow running jet here. There's a little tiny hole just here. Okay, now my pipe cleaners are no good, and that's where these little tiny thumb drills come in handy. Now this thumb drill actually fits straight in with no problems, so I know I'm not taking no material off. You can go up a touch, but if you feel any resistance, that's too big. If you feel any resistance at all, then you need to back off. Okay, because if you muck with this drill with this jet too much, it's not gonna run right. So what I'm gonna do with this is get a little tiny micro drill bit that goes in, and just literally, ever so gently, just gonna be rimming the side of it. I'm not actually drilling. I'm just gently scraping the side of this jet off. Now that was plugged because nothing was coming through there at all. So all I'm doing is just running it through and just resurfacing that that hole there. So now when I get my my Carby spray, and yes, I'm using Carby spray today, you can now put that on there, and then that will then come out of the little tiny hole. There it goes. Yeah, that's running out through there. Okay, so if you don't have a set of gas cleaners, get a set of these little thumb micro drill bits, because they go straight in. They're tiny, and you can just rim that out. Just all you do is you're just scraping the gunk off of the side of a wall. That's all you're doing. Okay, so I'll carry on now. I've already done the tube. The emulsion tube's been done. So now as a slow running jet, I've now got to do the main jet here on the bottom of the bowl and clean that out as well. So let me get that done, and I'll be back in 2 ticks. Okay, so that's all my jets now done. I'm going to put all my jets into this bowl, which is a little bit of a clean. That's got a bit of gunk in the bottom of that, so I get a little bit of wire wool. I just want to clean the bottom of this bowl out. Just a little bit of sediment and stuff sat in there. And the wire wool will just lift all of that. So I'm using carburetor spray on the jets itself because they were particularly gummed up. I don't use a lot of carburetor spray. I find it too aggressive, especially on the rubbers on the machines. So now I'm just going to rinse that out, get all those iron filings out of there, and all those jet parts can go into there so I don't lose them for later on. Carburetor spray all on there, so let's just rinse that off with a bit of WD-40. Roll the old sleeves up. And now we can get on with the actual carburetor itself. So first thing I want to do is actually put some spray down through the feed in. I'm blocking the bottom part off. And then I'll block the top part off. And run that into there. Now it would appear to be like a little screen in there. What's that in there? Yeah, a little tiny screen. So that's a one-way valve then. So I block the feed in, run it all the way down through. You can't go in that way, there's actually a valve in there. So that's good. I then want to go, there's a little tiny hole just down in the middle of a carburetor down in here. And that comes out of there, which is nice. General tidy. And then I'm going to run some back through there. I'm going to run some through every single hole where we took a jet out of, because you want to make sure this is all running. Where's that coming from? That should be running. That's not running. That's not. No. So let's run one in there then. That's coming out the top. Lovely. Got one there. That's straight in the face. And then there's one right down the side here. That comes out the slow running jet. So that's running. That one there is not running for some reason. So put an air compressor in that. So that's pretty much it. That's all you have to do to get these to run. That's now running. That's it. That was now coming out the top now. That wasn't running a minute ago. So that was an air compressor off. So over to the air compressor, and every single hole I've put stuff through. There's still a lot of gunk just in here. Let me get a dental pick or something similar. Let me get a dental pick. There's a little bit of gunk just sat right up in there. Let me try and fish that out for you. There it goes. See that there? There you go. That was sat inside the carby. So all that's got to come out. So that's what the air compressor is for. So I'm going to go and air compress this off, and I'll come back to you in 2 ticks, and then we're going to start to rebuild this little carby. I think we're done pretty much. I might just check the needle on here if I can find wherever the needle's gone. I'm not seeing that at the moment. That won't be too far. It'll be in the tray. I took it apart in the tray, so it'll be in the tray. Let me find that. Give it a compress off, and I'll come back to you in 2 ticks. Okay, so I found the old needle. It's actually underneath the float, so that's all sorted out. It's good. The needle looks okay. No problems there. That just sits into that little tiny hole. Little square hole there. It sits in there like that. We're happy with that. So carburetor. Here's my bits and bobs. Emulsion tube goes in first. A little bit of dirt, just literally, I can see it on them threads. So I just want to get that dirt off of there. And then we're going to put the main jet in, of the emulsion tube in, and we're going to screw that down. So that's well seated. We've then got the main jet down the bottom. This, I've not seen this before, but it's a thing apparently. And that'll be well seated as well. Like so. We've then got the slow running jet, which is this one here, which was bunged as well. That goes into there, and that's also well seated. And then we've got your mixture one in here. Now that's got to be done all the way up till it's well seated, and then backed off 1 1/4 turns to 1 o'clock. So let's screw that in. Don't do it really tight. Just it's there, just well seated there. So it's 1 1/2 turns back out. So there's half, there's 1, and there's 1 1/2, and it's about 1 o'clock. Gonna be about there, okay. So we're happy with that. A little bit of gunk there that should have come out, so get rid of you. We can now put the float back in. That sits in and goes into a little tiny hole, like so. And get our pin, which looks well and truly battered. So as I say, someone has been in this carburetor before me. If I can get it to go in there, it goes. I don't want to go all the way through, so a little tiny tap with the mallet. That's it. So now, if I push my thumb on the bottom of this, that blows. So I'm actually getting air leak from somewhere. What's going on here? That should stop that. So it's actually got a vent on it, so I can hear it. So that's correct. So that's good. I want to give that a little bit of a clean out because it had iron filings and other bits and pieces in there. So if I give that a bit of a clean, that'd be okay. That can then go onto there. We managed to save the O-ring, I believe, and then we need to do this up. Now this is a bit where I always go wrong on these little tiny carbies. Put it in and just do not do this up too tight. It's just got to be well seated, people, and I've heard of so many people who have snapped these. So literally just nick it up. That's enough. I'm not going no more than that, because I do snap them. Now I believe this one, without looking back at the video, I think that one went on there, I believe. And then the other one, the feed coming from the bottom, didn't it, I think. If it's wrong, I can always change it later on, but it looks about right. Yeah, that's right, because that went onto the onto a fuel top of a fuel tank. So that's the carby done, finished, and I'm happy with it. It's in quite good condition now, so hopefully we can now get fuel up through. Now what I'm going to be doing next is taking the fuel tank out of the machine. I also want to get a bit of a swill out, a bit of a clean out, because I don't know what, judging by what state the fuel was in the carburetor, that fuel is still in the bottom of my tank. So I'm going to just take the tank off and swivel it out. The tank is now loose, so that tank will now come out. Give it a good swill out, and then we can put some fresh fuel in when we go to reassemble. So I'll see you in 2 ticks. Okay, so I now have the front panel completely removed and a fuel tank out. I'm just going to tell you how I did that. There's a little tiny white socket up here that just disconnects, and a little tiny green wire here, which attaches to another green wire. Just pull that out the connection. That will remove your electrical side of things, so that's done with. And then on the actual tank itself, which I've removed, there's 2 fuel pipes. Orange one goes on the top, and it may differ on yours, but you've got a pipe that comes off the top of this tank up to here, and then you've got your main feed coming out. So that's feed in, feed out, that comes off, and a little tiny breather pipe to remove as well, also off the top of the tank, and then your tank will then come out. Once that's done, here's the fuel that was actually in this machine, and as you can tell, it looks more like something you would find in the NHS urine sample department, so that's no good for nothing. So we'll get rid of that at some point before we do anything else in the shop. We'll make that safe. And then obviously there's some kind of little tiny fuel assembly here with a diaphragm and pump on it. Wasn't expecting to see that, so it is actually a gasket for this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to remove this nut here, undo that one. There's a little tiny fuel pump, is what it looks like. Now, what I'm guessing is the fuel pump could be no good. So what I may do is have a little Google on here and to see if I can't find a gasket and diaphragm set for this, because I could put all this back together and it doesn't run. It may not be actually the carburetor itself, there's actually a fuel pump here as well. So what I don't want to do is put it all together and find out that the diaphragm's no good, because all that had to come apart again, and it is a bit of a fiddle bag to get in there. So I'm going to stop this video here. This will be part one of this little tiny video, and then we'll come back and I'll carry on and do a second part to this. And I'm going to renew this gasket and diaphragm on this, just to make sure that's all tickety-boo as well. Okay, so that's where we're going to leave that little generator just there. I'm going to order up the part. Thank you very much to Ken Small Engines. Have managed to find the right diaphragm gasket set for the fuel pump. So that's now on order and should be here momentarily. And I'll come back to that and give it another clean. I want to get it done because it's all in bits and bobs. So I want to get it all sorted out, get it all cleaned out, and get it put back together and get it gone. That's the idea. If it's your first time I'm watching Micks Mowers, hit the subscribe button, whack your bell, set notifications to all. That way you'll be told when I've done a video or two on my Saturday night weekly live stream, which starts at 6:30 PM UK time. I look forward to the next episode of Micks Mowers very, very soon. But until then, people, don't forget, much more importantly, take it easy.